I was thinking about something. I'm on my way to the gym. Just got something to eat. And my boy sent me this clip today of this church. And I'm first off, I don't have nothing against CCM music. I played CCM for hella years. And first and foremost, music in church is supposed to be about worship anyway. So I don't have nothing against CCM. But here's the thing that I noticed, a trend that I noticed particularly, I want to say about 8 or 9 years ago. These backing tracks. These backing tracks that call out the verses and the chords. One, it's got a click track. It's got a voiceover telling you where to go. It's got, you know, man, in my opinion, that's what's hurting a lot of folks. That's the problem, especially in smaller churches. Church can be a great sort of training ground for musicians. Doesn't matter the genre of the music, but if you got a click in your ear and you got the voice telling you what the parts of the song are, it's like riding a bike with training wheels. You know what I'm saying? And you're not building that muscle of, one, knowing the song. Actually knowing the song, knowing the form of the song. And if you're playing worship music, especially if you're playing worship music, knowing the sentiment and the feeling and the meaning behind that song. There came a point when I was playing in a CCM environment, I was like, yo, I'm not coming to a rehearsal not because I'm all that, but because, and of course I have to then decide, well, I don't want to do this because I can't think of one CCM song that has more than 4 chords in it, right? So, I don't know. First off, if you get that chart, you know how they have those cowboy charts that got the lyrics and they have the chords on top? Well, the chords are a roadmap, right? Well, the chords are like parts in a roadmap. Each block of the song, you got a verse. You might have, intro, verse, chorus, bridge, things like that. Take inventory. If the song is in C and the chords are C, C over E, A minor, right? Then what are those chords in relationship to the key of C? One chord. The C over E is still a one chord. It's just an inversion of the one chord. So the E is playing the bass. The chord is C, E, and G. This is right. And then you take notes and say, okay, the form of this song is blah 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 blah. And then you think, well, what other songs have that same form or those same chord progressions? You see what I'm saying? That's just a little thing while I'm on my way to the gym. May it be a blessing. May it be a blessing to somebody. Yeah. Man, that just drives me nuts, though. It doesn't drive me nuts, but I can see why. I'm a big technology guy. I love technology. I love tools. But as far as I'm concerned, unless you have like some auxiliary vocals, background vocals, and stuff like that, the only person that should really need a click is the drummer. I would always tell people, hey man, don't put no click in my ear. I don't need a click. I got a drummer right there, pretty solid one as well. Now I used to play in this big church, neighborhood church. They called it Three Crosses, neighborhood church of Castro Valley, and every year this place is one of these huge churches, and they would do 3 major musicals a year, and they would have tracks, backing tracks to like beef up the vocals and stuff like that. That's not uncommon, right? But we also had a conductor and yada yada yada. I can remember he would cue the sound guy when to start the track, and then he would conduct, from there. It was a whole little system or whatever. And one time, the sound guy was asleep. I really think knowing this brother, he was asleep, right? And he said, "Hey Dave, start the track. Hey Dave, start the track." And I mean, it's the big closing number of the Christmas musical. You got angels flying. I mean, people on like, wires and stuff flying, real animals, 100 people in the cast. It's crazy. He said, "Dave, start the track. Dave, start the track." Dave don't start the track. And it was off. It was way off. We stopped. I was in the pit, and I was mortified. I was mortified at what was going on. They had to close the curtain, bring the people back, all that, and then they wound up doing it again, and we killed it. But there's another thing right there. There's another thing. What happens when something happens? And something is always gonna happen. Something's always gonna happen. Listen, I may not be a household name. To some people, I might just be a dude on YouTube. But I'm gonna tell you, I've been in the bass game a long time. I have played in hella different situations. And one thing I know is if you rely on that technology too much, that technology will fail you. You don't learn the song and you got to be staring at a chart the whole time and the technology fails, something's power go out. I've had that happen. Right? The sound people can't get the tracks running right, and you don't know the songs. I've seen bands have their tracks fail, and you could tell that nobody really learned the song. They were relying on the tracks. So, just something to think about. You ain't got to take nothing I'm saying to heart. Nothing. It's just, I'm just speaking from experience. So, anyway, let me go get this workout in and keep my eyes on the road before I hit somebody. Peace.